Greetings. This is the morning of the first day of my second part of the Camino. I didn't really make many videos in the first part, and then the ones that I did make were all lost. So this is not going to be a complete video record of the trip, but we'll see how it goes. I intended to make videos the first time, but I didn't because I ended up meeting so many people and just didn't have time because I was too busy talking to people, which is, in the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I hope that happens again, so a lack of videos is probably a good thing, but who knows. At the moment, I'm not actually on the Camino. I'm walking through Pamplona, and it's very early in the morning, or at least very early in the morning for me. It's just before 7, and I'm hoping to catch a 7:30 bus to Lorca, which is where I finished last time. I did about 80 miles, I think 90 miles, 100 kilometres last time, and I'm hoping to do more than that this time. I'm not feeling brilliant. I slept really badly, and that happened last time. Last happened, my sleep was really disturbed, and I had very vivid dreams. Kind of based on the fears that I was having for the forthcoming trip. And I don't know, I don't have like so many fears this time. I think the only fear that plagues me is that because it was so good last time and because I met such fantastic people, that I won't this time, and it'll be a lot lonelier. And I don't know, I mean, like, I just read a book about a guy who's done it 6 times, and he talks about all the great people he meets, and actually none of the relationships that he has seem to have been as good as the ones I got first time round. Well, that's a pretty amazing church. But then he always travelled with somebody else or in a group, so he wouldn't make new relationships as easily, I guess. That's my fear, but I don't know. I had a really interrupted sleep with some vivid and weird dreams. I've had that for a couple of nights now. And again, that happened last time. And, you know, back in the Middle Ages, I'm sure you'd say, well, that's the devil trying to weaken your resolve, make you less likely to succeed. Maybe it is. Maybe there are other psychological reasons. I don't know. Anyway, I'm off. Hopefully to get to Lorca now to restart the Camino. Goodbye from Pamplona. Keep travelling. So here I am in Lorca. That's where I finished last time. And now it's time to go on Camino. Greetings. I'm at the old church of Saint Michael, San Miguel, outside the village of Villamayor, and I've walked probably, I guess, about 4 or 5 kilometres so far. It's a nice sunny day. It's not too hot. It's very pleasant for walking. Haven't found anyone to walk with yet, but there are plenty of other pilgrims on the way. I decided to stop here because it looked a nice little church. It's open, it's empty, it's disused, but the altar's got lots of prayers that people have left. I found it quite a beautiful place, actually. I prefer simple, humble churches, and this is one of them. I suppose I've just picked up where I left. I much prefer having someone to walk with, but sometimes it's also good to be on your own and run through stuff in your mind. One of the things that's been bothering me, it was bothering me last night, and I've been thinking about it on the way today, is something that happened a few weeks ago. So I went on a trip around Europe with my son Thomas in the van, and I met an old friend called Christophe Guizet, who I'd shared a room with and worked with on the kibbutz over 20 years ago. And I hadn't seen him for almost 20 years, and I didn't know if he'd be alive or dead, but he was alive. But it was very, very weird. It was sad because he's basically an alcoholic. And the Chris that I knew was a very good guy. Kind of was there, but he wasn't there at the same time, and I'm finding that quite hard to deal with. Because I'm someone who believes in living life to the full. I think we have this opportunity for life, and we should make the most of it. And then there's somebody who I certainly used to love and respect, and that old person I still do, but the person that there is now basically hasn't done anything for 20 years except stay in a bar. And I don't know, that kind of messes with your head a bit, because it's like the person's alive, but they're a shell of the former person. And at the time, I likened it a bit to Alzheimer's, how Alzheimer's can take someone away where they're still alive. It happened to my grandmother years ago, and it's also been in my mind a bit because I'm reading a Scandinavian crime book about the detective Kurt Wallander, and he actually, I've read the last one in the series already, and I know he succumbs to that as well, and that's very powerfully written about later on. I mean, it's just a crime story, but it kind of, I suppose it reminded me of that. I don't know, I mean, is Chris alive or not? And, you know, it's hard to say, and could the situation have been salvaged at some point? Could it be salvaged now? I don't know. I mean, I spoke to my friend from the Netherlands who also shared a room with us and worked with us, and he said, well, you know, that was always in Chris, and he's right. He is totally right, but then, you know, maybe there's stuff we can do that can get us out of that mess. And I do wonder if Chris had actually left his hometown, that might have helped. And we went to see him a couple of times in his hometown soon after the kibbutz, and he was never happy there, and he's still there, and I guess he's probably not that happy. And maybe what he should have done is he's gone out and done something else. Maybe he should have done a Camino type thing to, you know, get him out of that trap. But then the thing is, he did do that. He did the kibbutz thing, which is actually very similar. He also spent time in Africa, and it was coming back he couldn't cope with. And he said, you know, he was happy in Africa. He was not happy. He was not happy in Switzerland. And last year, when I was on the Camino, I met a guy. He was a psychologist, German psychologist. Actually walked from his house. Yeah, a very inspirational guy, and you know, we talked about the positive things for Camino, as everybody does when they're on it. And I said, well, what's the negatives? And he actually said, well, perhaps the negative is adjusting. Some people can't do it, and maybe that's Chris is one of those, you know. And I don't know how do you help someone like that? How does somebody like that help themselves? I don't know. I don't know the answer. Anyway, here I am at San Miguel Church, and Estella is a couple of miles in that direction, so I'll be going there next. We're now heading into Estella.